Hey, this is Steven from LegitTechTutorials, and welcome back to Beginning CSS. So today we are going to talk about styling boxes. So let's go ahead and get started. So boxes are basically, I'm going to explain here in a second, but it's the area around the elements. So you could do padding, this and that, and you'll see here in a second. Alright, so let's say we wanted to mess with some of the stuff that I have here. Go ahead and copy down what I have and pause it right now if you need to. You need some time to copy it down. So let's say like black. Oops. And there you see there's a block around that, and you can't see because the text and the block are both black. Let's go ahead and change this color to like maybe like a gray, or maybe like a red. Oopsies. So there you go. Now you see it. So you see the block now around the P. So these are the two P's, and you see the the width and the height of the block. And it basically what we did is we constricted the block around it, so it kind of made it smaller in size. Alright, so those are the two parts, the height and the width. And then we have limiting the width. So what we could do here is just continue on this, and we're going to say minimum width and max width. I'm going to change these values to like in pixels or percentages. Let's do like 700 pixels, and then of course this one you want to be larger than 700. Let's say like 1000 pixels. And then we have some other different stuff like padding, but I believe we go over that here in a second. So let's go ahead and see what this does. And you see here that the minimum and maximum, so it's going to make a minimum box of 700 pixels, and if we had more info in there, it would make it larger. So right here, it's at the 700 minimum. So let's go ahead and see if what happens if we drop down that 700 minimum. And now it makes it a lot smaller. So like I said, if I had more in here, if I made it go even farther, all the way down, then it would make it go past that size. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue. So, okay, so that's the minimum height. And you notice here that I messed up. They were supposed to be minimum height and maximum height. Maximum height. Sorry about that. So let's say it was like 300 pixels. And then this one's supposed to be max width. So let's bring this down to like, 200. And this is going to be like, so this is minimum width. Maximum width is going to be about, let's say, 500, but we're not going to probably see that. Okay, so now we have those set. So down here, and Dreamweaver also states that we are running that. So now we have the minimum height. So this is the minimum height that the box is going to be, and then if you have more info in there than the 200 pixels, it will go up to 300 pixels. Now, for the minimum width, we have 200 minimum and 500 width maximum. But in here, you can't really see it because it's constrained, so it'll automatically push it to the next line, etc., etc. Okay, now we have overflow. So you know that if you have a paragraph and it's too long, basically what it'll allow you to do is have it to overflow. And basically what happens is you could set it to scroll, and you can scroll to see the missing content. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's do overflow scroll, or you could have overflow hidden, where it just hides the rest of it. But right now I do not have enough material in here. If I did, okay, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. But yeah, you get the point. You'll see like a little scroll bar on the right hand side of the block in order to scroll up and down. Alright, so another thing, pages of the blocks that each have 3 different attributes. They have the borders, which go around, which determine the width between the two blocks, from one box to another. So a margin is the gap between the border of two adjacent boxes. So it goes margin and then the border, and then it goes inside to the padding, and the padding is from around the border to the words. So those are all the different things that we could mess with, and those are called white spaces. We can mess with those white spaces to get a certain type of look that we want. Alright, so let's go ahead and mess with a couple of different options. So let's keep the color here. Let's get rid of the overflow. And let's get rid of the rest of this stuff. So let's do like border width. Let's say like there's a couple different things that you could choose from, and you'll see them pop up right now. This is what you could pick from as far as final variables, or you could tell it your own. Let's say like 10 pixels. And then let's go ahead and go to the next one. Let's go to H1. And let's do another border thickness. Border width. Let's say like thick. Oh yeah, let's... Alright, now you're probably not going to see it, but it's actually like right here. You see the padding, the distance between those two blocks. It's right up in there. And one should be larger than the other. Probably can't see it too much, probably because the values are pretty close together. See if I can get it to exaggerate. And you see there now, definitely. Okay, so there you see it. The border is on the the inside here, and the padding. And you could set each one. You could have a border width here, and it accepts 4 different values. So you have the top width, the right width, the bottom width, and the left width. So that's, for example, 500 pixels. 20 pixels, 15 pixels, and like 10 pixels. All different sizes, and you can see it's definitely offset here, especially on the side. But like I said, it's full on here, so it kind of truncates it there on the side. Alright, so now we have some different border styles, so let's go ahead and go over those. So we have solid, dotted, dashed, double, grooved, ridge, insert, outset, hidden, and none. So we're not going to go over hidden and none. Let's go ahead and get all of our elements here to have something in there. So let's say p.testing. Let's say border style, and let's say groove. And then let's say border style, and let's say this one's dashed. And then this guy, border style, pick one, let's say like ridge. Ridge. So there. You can see, why did I not? Oh, because this one. It's this one. I guess groove and ridge look similar. Or they're not really shown too well. So let's do dashed. Why is it not? I misspelled border. Okay, so there we have one, but it's not showing the styles too much in Dreamweaver, but they are there. Okay, so there's all different kinds of ones. You can mess around with them to get it exactly how you want, and you know, mess around with them here and there, and get the type of design you want. And here's another customization for the border. Let's go ahead and talk about border color. And then we're going to do a pound sign, pick a color for it. Let's go ahead and go somewhere else in the color wheel. Let's go like a green or something. Should be in here. Let's get rid of the background color. Let's see what happens. So we're not really seeing it here, but because I misspelled border again. Okay, so there you go. And then another thing is that you could do the exact same thing as the previous border, and you could do the top color, the right color, the bottom color, and the left color. So 4 different values you could type in and get the different colors that you want. So exact same thing as you saw previously. You don't need to memorize the order. You could just type it in very exaggerate it, and then you could be able to tell the combination after you do trial and error. But you need to have 4 values. So it goes top, right, bottom, and left. So it goes clockwise. Okay, so now we're going to talk more about the border. So we could do a simple, quick, to the end border again is we could have it all in one line. So let's say that we wanted on here, we wanted to do, we're going to do 3 pixels. 3 pixels dotted. Well, let's do larger. Let's do like 10 pixels. And let's do ridge. And let's do like a different color. Let's go with like a blue. Let's go like a blue up here. Let's go ahead and give that a try. So there we go. So here is the width of the border. Here is the style of the border. And here's the color of the border. So very, very quick. Very simple to hash out very, very quickly. Okay, some more about padding. Sorry, I guess Alright, so let's go ahead and try another example. So here you see that these both are set up. So let's go ahead and make this guy different. Let's go ahead and make this guy have extra padding. So it's going to have this border style. Let's get rid of this. That's probably why I misspelled border there too. So here's the style groove. And not seeing too much difference. Okay, let's do a padding of 20 pixels. Okay, so there you could plainly see what the difference between the padding makes. It's got a big gap in between here, a lot of padding in between the two. And then same thing with this one. You could do padding top, right, bottom, and left. 4 values clockwise. Clockwise rotation to modify them. So then now we have a margin. And a margin is indented from the left, right? So you could, indent it farther. So let's do this one again. So we're going to go with the get rid of the padding. And I'm going to show you what the difference of the margin makes here. So let's do like margin of 50 pixels. So pretty exaggerated. And there you can see the pretty exaggerated margin. So the margin is here on this element and pushing it over from the left-hand margin. So pushing 50 pixels from the left-hand margin of where it started. And that guy, same exact thing, clockwise rotation. You could do margin top, right, bottom, and left. And then we could also work on doing some other styling of centering content. So we're going to keep that margin. And let's go ahead and do a text align, and it will push the alignment of the text inside of the box. So let's go ahead and go here, and then right after we're going to do text align left. Well, it's already left text align, so let's do text align right. So there you go. So now it's pushing the text to the right side of the box, aligning all the text on the right hand side, or you could have it centered to where it's floating inside the box. So if this box was larger and we made this centered, you would notice that it's floating inside the center of the box. Alright, so now we're going to work with the unordered list and the list elements. List items, sorry. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to do an li dot, whoopsies. Let's go ahead and put a comma there so we don't forget it. Okay, and then we're going to say display inline and then we're going to say oopsies. And then let's go ahead and put a class on this guy here. So li, let's do it on this one. Class inline. So this guy is, contrary to the name, it's going to not be inline. So it should make it not do that. Let me see. Dot inline. So here you see all the other different kinds of stuff. Let's just say none. And then close that. So I don't know where this second block went. I guess it's just because we're not displaying it. Yeah. So we're not displaying we're not displaying this one. So let's go ahead and do another display like block. So there you see this is as a block, and this is an inline. As you see, it does not have the list item type of dot or anything like that. So it is putting it like that. And here it does not have that element there. So okay, let's go ahead and move on to visibility. So this is changing the visibility of those items. So let's go ahead and go into this guy here and change the same thing as setting display to none, obviously. Visibility, and then we could hide it. So let's go ahead and hide it, and it's hidden now. So you can make it visible or hide it, or hidden. So visible or hidden. Now we're going to get into some cool CSS3 stuff. What we could do is we could make our own image for the borders. So custom border image. And you're going to need three things. You're going to need to know the URL of the image and where to slice the image and what to do with the straight edges. And the possible values for those are stretch, repeat, and round. Stretch the image, repeat the image, or you'd like to have the image round. Now there's a whole bunch of different things that you could do with that. I don't have any images to make it for you right now, but I'll show you what it would look like if you were wanting to set one up. Actually, I don't have This guy didn't have a semicolon at the end. Okay, so let's say something like test border image URL, and then you give the URL .gif or whatever .gif, and then you're gonna do those where you want them to cut, and you're gonna have 4 values, so top, right, bottom, and left, and then what you want to do with them. So let's say we want to repeat, and then that's exactly what you would do. And so you can mess around with that, find an image and mess around with those types of things. Okay, so now we're going to go over drop shadows of the box. So let's do a box shadow. So let's go P, and then we're just going to say box shadow -5 pixels and -5 pixels. And then the color of the drop shadow. So let's make it really noticeable. Okay, so basically what this guy does here is it will take that box and give it a box shadow. And then you have different types of things that you could add onto them. And here you could have either 2 values, 4 values, or 3 values. So a horizontal offset. So if you do negative values, it'll set it to the left. Negative values will set, so negative to the left, positive to the right. So it's horizontal offset, vertical offset, blur distance, and spread of shadow. So let's go ahead and mess around with a couple of those values here. So let's do another box shadow. And this guy is supposed to be like this, not underlined. So box shadow. And let's say we want to give it the 5 values. 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 10 pixels, and this guy needs a. And then we want the color. So let's say like a dark blue. And we're going to close that. See what happens. So yet again, we are not getting that style in Dreamweaver. So it will be there if you get it correctly. And it would also work a lot better if we had some images to work with, but yeah, we do not, because then here in my reference book, they're messing around with the shadows that they imported, all those pictures and stuff, which I do not have examples for. Okay, let's go ahead and do the last 2 options. So these are rounding corners and elliptical shapes. So let's say that we wanted to have a border radius, a radius around the border. So the first one, the quickest one that we could do here is probably this guy, since it's already got a border around it and you could see the box. So let's do border radius is 50 pixels, something pretty extreme. Yet again, I'm going to spell border. And we are again not getting any results. And it should be on this block here. So let me try to copy with what this book has got and see if we have any results. And yeah, so it's, this Moz is supposed to have a dash. Where's the dash? There it is. So yeah, so we're just not seeing it in Dreamweaver. You'll probably see it in Aptana if you're using Aptana. But yeah, so another one is the border radius. And same thing with this, you could do top right radius, bottom left radius, and top left radius. So the corners, top right, bottom left, top left. So in a counterclockwise circle, the different radiuses. Now let's say we wanted to do an elliptical shape. So let's do what we have here, the example in the book. We are probably not going to get, let me get rid of this and see what happens. Yeah, so we are probably not going to get this in Dreamweaver. So let's say a border, top right radius is 80 pixels and 50 pixels. And yet again, we're not getting that type of style. So yet again, all the way around, you could set them up to, you know, top left, top right. So top right, bottom left, top left. You could set those all independently. So let's do try one more time on this guy right here. Let's just try to see if we could set this guy up. So we're going to say, but none of these other ones have borders on them though. So let's go one more time on this one then. Let's do it one last time. Border radius 1 EM, 4 EM, 1 EM, 4 EM, / 2 EM, 1 EM, 2 EM, and 1 EM. Yeah, so it's not going to style in Dreamweaver. Alright, so this has been Steven from LegitTechTutorials. I'd like to thank you for watching this beginning CSS on boxes. And if you like this video, please subscribe for more videos like it in this series and other series as well. If you have any questions, email me. The link to the reference book is in the description. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching and take it easy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.